Hey guys, welcome to Combat Kettlebell. This is workout number 1, okay? We're gonna start things off nice and slow and let you get used to the positions and the feelings for things, but right now we're going to get right after it. So, here's how the exercise is gonna go. We're gonna do swings, overhead press, goblet squats, and kettlebell single arm row. That way you're getting a nice full body workout, but you're also getting a feeling for some of these positions. So now, our first movement is going to be a kettlebell swing. So we're gonna pick up our bell, straddle it, pull it to the top, keeping the core tight, and you're just gonna start slowly rocking from the hips, okay? Going from that hip hinge position and bringing the bell up to about shoulder height, okay? The harder you rock, the higher your swings are gonna go. So ideally, we wanna bring it up to about shoulder height, let the bell fall to us, and cushion it with the hips. So we push those hips back and allow that bell to swing freely and propel it away as we snap our hips. So this is an explosive motion. You can't do this slow. You should not feel it in your shoulders. So if you're doing it correctly, you should essentially be able to let go of the bell, catch it, and then continue on with your swing. This is all timing with the hips. Okay, so if you need to go a little slower and just slowly rock the bell forward, that's fine. Start feeling the power as you're transitioning the bell. So we're gonna do a lot of these just so that we get used to the swinging action. Great piece of advice. Shoot for about 20 swings at a time, then take a little bit of a break because your heart rate's gonna be elevated and you're gonna be a little gassed. Whew. Okay, so let your breathing calm down a little bit and we're gonna go right into the overhead press. So now with the belt, we're gonna perform a kettlebell clean. If you didn't pick up the clean video, the tutorial on the clean, I'll put the link down below so that you can practice the clean position, but basically you're rotating that kettlebell up into the rack position, okay? So from there, we're creating a nice stable platform with our arm, with our abs, and our hips, okay? And we're just gonna swing that bell out and press straight up, keeping our shoulder packed. So we swing out, press up, making sure the kettlebell is staying nice and straight in through the wrist. Come back in. Now make sure when you come back in, you're coming all the way in, okay? It should be cradled in, your elbow should be down, and that kettlebell should be resting comfortably on your forearm. Okay, this bugs people from time to time. Trust me, you get used to it. It should not hurt. It might be a little uncomfortable, but that's okay. So we rip out some overhead presses. Let's say we start with 10. 10 reps is good, depending on the size of the bell you have. Clean it up to the other side, press it out for 10 more reps. Now notice as I transition, I'm swinging my elbow out, and then I press. Swing out, press, okay? I've got to keep my core nice and tight, that way I can press up straight up overhead. I get to my 10, and then I'm just gonna set it down slowly, okay? So I always set things down toward the middle of the body, right in between my shoelaces. That way I'm keeping it nice and tight. Don't fold over and set that bell down just because you're lazy, okay? Don't do it, it's not good. Our next exercise is gonna be a goblet squat. So for this one, we're gonna want that sumo stance, so a little wider than shoulder width. Okay, toes are out. We're gonna get the bell up. Now 2 different hand holds. You can hold it like this, squeeze the elbows in, grip it by the horns, and perform your squat. Or you can grip the ball, dig the handle into your chest, keep the elbows in, push the hips back, bend the knees. Pretend you're sitting in a deep chair. So you're gonna push those hips back, bend the knees, come back up. Trying to get nice and deep in these. Regardless of which arm pattern you're using, keep the elbows below the bell as you're transitioning. Knock out 10 reps. And then we'll take a little break. Whew. So now, the wonderful thing about using a kettlebell for everything is that you can do so many different exercises with the same bell. As you get stronger, you'll probably want to upgrade the size of the bell for your legs and find an intermediate for your upper body. Just because you'll probably be able to handle more with your legs than you are with your upper body. That's fine. So, but generally, you only need two good sized belts. One big one for your legs, one smaller or moderate size for your upper body. Now for this row pattern, we're gonna go with a shoulder width stance. We're gonna come down, we're gonna brace one hand off of our opposing knee, and we're just gonna drive that bell up. Using the elbow to pull the bell back, squeezing the shoulder blade behind us. Make sure you're keeping your core nice and braced. Your back should be nice and flexed. We hit about 10, 12 there, and then we're just gonna switch. Hip it back, brace against your knee, grab your bell, keep your chest up, drive that elbow. Now you'll feel this pulling on your core on one side as you fight to keep stability. If you start losing it, you need a break, stand up. And just hold on to the bell, hip it back, find your hand placement again, and then just drive it back up. Set the bell down in front of you. You're good to go, okay? That's it for the workout. So I want you to do 2 more sets through. I'm gonna do one with you, and then you can practice on your own, okay? So we're gonna go about 20 swings, 10 overhead presses, 10 or 12 goblet squats, and 10 or 12 kettlebell rows, okay? Should be able to burn through these pretty quick. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. Let's start with the swing. We'll start building it up. Build up that power from the hips. Swing the bell up. Get a little breath out. Brace the abs tight. Now I'm physically pushing the floor away with my feet and squeezing my bum. So up at the top position, your abs should be like a stone. Abs, glutes, tighten those up. That way it takes all the stress off your lower back, okay? Next position, clean it up to the chest, okay? It's locked in there nice and tight in the rack position. We're gonna swing it out and up overhead. Big presses, lock that arm out. Try to keep the core tight. Notice we're not using any other movement other than just with the shoulder. Everything else is braced and solid. We hit our 10 or 12 reps. Bring it down, cushion it, swing it up into the other side, brace the arm, tighten up the core, press. Swing that elbow out, press straight up. Nice work, everyone. Keep it going. Woo. All right. Set that bell down. Shake out those arms. We're working them hard. Let's get our bell up. Okay. This time I'm going to grab mine by the horns, suck my elbows in, and I'm going to squat. Sit back into the squat. Knees apart. Get nice and deep in there. Drive it up to the top. Now, if you can hear, I'm using short little controlled puffs of air as I come to the top. So my breath, I'm pushing, I'm breathing out, I'm taking it back in at the top, tightening it up, dropping it back down, okay? So it's just like a pneumatic press. Bring in that air, tighten up the core, descend, push, breathe out a little bit, and then tighten it back up again. Okay, here we go. We're gonna go right into our row. Okay, find your nice solid brace position, that hip hinge position. Pull it back, drive it up. 10 to 12 reps out of one arm, 10 to 12 out of the other arm. You can either hold position in there, or you can stand up, switch over to the other side, drive that elbow back. Woo. Set the bell down. That's it for round 2, okay? So I encourage you to do 1 or 2 more sets on your own, and we'll see you for the next workout.